All right, everybody, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. Thank you, Maze, for engaging with me this morning. My mind is blown. Oh my gosh. It's amazing how God can turn around your life. My goodness. What a pleasure to meet that young guy today. I'd love to have him back on the show. If you really enjoyed him, let me know. 22999 is the SMS line. Lots of you are even sending in prayer requests and things that you're trusting God for. And indeed, let's keep looking to God for provision. Let's keep our eyes fixed on Him. And let's seek Him above all else. I think that's one of the most important things that has been said here today. When we have more of God, we want less of these things of the world. For now, though, allow us to turn our attention to our next guest. His name is Fredrick Muitiriri, and he's a brand new anchor here at Switch TV. He's a news editor and anchor. Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you.
And you have quite the story.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I thank God.
We're honored to have you here, and we're excited to learn just from you about success and the sort of process that is required to get there. Because the truth is, so many of us are impatient and we think success is an overnight achievement.
True.
We think it's a 100-meter race and we want it now. In fact, we wanted it yesterday.
Yeah.
But that's not how it goes, is it?
No.
And I guess you will be telling us a bit about how it's
Absolutely.
taken a while for you to
Absolutely.
get here.
Yeah.
But let's talk about TV for a minute and tell us a bit about your passion for TV. I understand it started when you were pretty young.
Yep. So when I was in 11 years, I used to love listening to radio. And so I used to love commentating. I'd listen to KBC then, Jacoyo Sylvester, Ali Sali Manga. And I would love to hear how they were putting on their words, putting so poetic to my ears. And so I decided I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. And so when I was 11, I started practicing, sort of. And one day, there was this lady who heard me, and she told me, "You are actually very good." I was 11. And I thought, wow, so I can do this. And so I started doing it. I started practicing slowly by slowly.
Yeah.
By the time I was hitting Form 2, I had decided media is my thing.
No, okay.
Media is my thing. Form 2. I'm from the village, and you can imagine I would wake up early in the morning to watch CNN, Larry King, early in the morning, 5 in the morning, day scholar. I'd wake up, watch him till around 5:30, and then I'd listen to radio. Back then it was Kiss 100, and then I'll go to school at 6. And so I developed a passion for media, slowly by slowly. And that informed my decision to become a media person.
Wow.
Yes.
But you didn't end up as a media person immediately. Umefanya tu mzunguko kidogo.
No.
Let me tell you guys something. This guy was once a police officer. Unasikia hiyo sauti? Can you imagine mtu anakusimamisha na hii sauti? I'm trying to pick, the whole time you're talking, I'm just trying to visualize you in the uniform.
I know. 3 years.
Were you like a traffic cop ama ulikuwa wapi?
I got born again immediately after high school, 2003. And so I wouldn't go to traffic.
Okay.
So immediately I cleared in 2003. I wanted to do media, nothing else. Media. Told my mama, media, nothing else. I'd watch newspapers, watch news, any advertisement about media. I'd tell her this. Unfortunately, we are 4 of us, single mother. And my mama said, I can't afford it. I can't, I just can't. I told God, you know what? Now that I'm born again, I need you to sort me out. I need a job.
Provision.
Yes, I need a job, save enough, go back to school, study media.
Yeah.
Police came. I went for recruitment, 2004, got a chance, went to Kiganjo, cleared 9 months, went to Isiolo, worked for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Tough.
And what were you thinking when you're in Isiolo as a police officer, when you know what your dream is? You know where you want to go, and you're 100% convinced that media is your journey. But here you are, you're almost like having to pay a different price just to get to where you are, you know,
Yes.
to where you want it to be. Like, and that's, I guess, what they talk about success not being a straight line. You literally zungukad all the way to Isiolo.
You know, funny enough, back then our pay was 11,000 to 12,000.
Wow.
And so I had a craving for the media. So I started saving immediately in college, Kiganjo, 2004, 2005, 3,000 every month, so that I can be able to get the money to go back to school. So when I went to Isiolo, I was very desperate. So every day I would wake up, watch news, was just KBC, nothing else, KBC, and think, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But I think the Lord was just preparing me for the journey that was ahead. It was very tough.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
It is 220 kilometers from Isiolo town. It is more than 800 kilometers from your family.
Yeah.
And you are here thinking, I want to do media, but it's like, I'm tired. But I believe that the Lord was just setting me up. I became almost a pastor where I was. Yes. We had one church. Yes. We had one church around that place. Basically, it's just a Muslim setup because it's the border between Isiolo and Garissa, a place called Modogashe. I was at a station called Sericho. And so I found there was a church, and there were 6 of us. And that was a whole church. No one would preach. I would preach every Sunday.
Wow.
And for those 2 to 3 years, I was the pastor there. So I think God was just setting me up for leadership. The Lord was just telling me there's something I want to do with you while you're here.
Yeah.
And so when the time came for me to leave, there was no going back.
Yeah.
I left.
And for those then who, you know, they have been impatient with their journey.
Yes.
They want success, like we said yesterday.
Yes.
And now hearing your story, do you look back at it with any sort of thanksgiving as far as even having to be posted in Isiolo and just the roundabout way that you had to get to be here today? You're talking about God raising you up for leadership. Do you also think that in some way it might have contributed to you being a stronger media person today?
I believe so. In media, you understand what is happening right now in media. So you need somebody with a lot of patience. You need somebody with a lot of waiting for the Lord, humility, and to understand that it's the Lord's work. Whatsoever work that you do, you've got to understand it is the Lord's work. And the Lord's work, it's not built in a day. Remember, God created the earth and heaven in 7 days. He would have done it in 1 day. But he had to consistently wait every single day, day 1 all the way to day 7. And you understand that all those days, they had a purpose. So I believe whenever one is going to the next step, God knows that you cannot just go there. You need to be prepared. And it takes time, a lot, sometimes longer than you'd want. But the Lord is just preparing you for a bigger assignment than you think. But sometimes we think, no, it's not the Lord. No, I don't believe that the Lord is using me. I think my time is up. No, the Lord is just preparing you for a bigger assignment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So you've been saving this 3,000 bob every month from your salary of 11K.
Yes.
I mean, that is commitment.
I know.
Hey, that's a lot out of
3
that
years.
chunk.
Yes. And sometimes because I was trying to help my mom educate our last born.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so you have
So
some
it wasn't
school
just
fees.
for you.
Yes, you've got some school fees to pay. And at the same time, you've got school you're thinking about. So
you
sometimes my
saved-
salary will be just 4,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you saved for such a long time. Were you then eventually able to go to school?
Absolutely. So came 2007. I think this is me. I have enough. I've saved 60,000. I think this is good enough for me to start. And so I found an advertisement from Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. And I thought, this is it. I've heard about this college. This is it. I just want to go there. And so I applied. They took me in. They told me this is the school fees. But when I went back to my OSPD, he refused. He said,
For
I
you to
cannot
leave?
transfer. I wanted to transfer from Isiolo to come to Nairobi and study.
Yeah.
He said, no, I asked him why. I just want to go study. No, go study wherever you are. 220 kilometers away from Isiolo town. I told him there's just a secondary school there.
Right.
How can I study there? Told me, no, that's the only place you can study. And so I asked him, how long would this take? 8 years. For you to leave the jungle. I told him, I don't think so. Can I go to the next office and ask for help? So I went to Embu. That was our provincial headquarters then. They told me, you need a letter from your OSPD. I didn't have one because he refused.
Oh my.
From there, I came to Nairobi, police headquarters. And I remember the director of personnel then, I called him from downstairs. He asked me, do you have a letter from your provincial boss? I said, no. Put the phone down. I went to then the spokesperson, police. It was called who? Kiraive. Went to his office. I was very bold. 22-year-old. Very bold. I went to his office. I told him, sir, I need a change. I would need a transfer. How can you help? He told me, if you had a transfer, I would bring you in my office. But now you don't have.
Yeah.
I cannot help. That was the day I decided, enough.
So you left.
I resigned that day.
Wow.
I went to school.
This thing of school, yeah, I mean, you were determined. You were willing to leave a job.
Determined.
It wasn't paying you much.
Yep.
And you maybe
was
weren't
big
sure
then.
how, yeah, but you also weren't sure how you're going to sustain yourself then through school, because the money you've saved so far is just for your tuition.
Yes. So
My goodness.
I decided. I didn't know. I didn't have a backup plan, but I knew what I wanted. The decision was made easier when I went to KMC, and when I spoke with the director, he told me there was no way he was going to postpone my admission because they were using a quota system. A quota system is where they just take one person from one district. I'm from Nakuru, and so that year it was just two of us. And funny enough, one of the people that we were picked with is one of the staff here. She's called Julie.
Okay.
Julie Wairimo. So both of us. And I was told there are just two of you from Nakuru. And believe you me, you are not going to get this chance next year.
Wow.
That was it for me. That was it. I decided to quit and I started hustling.
Amazing.
Yes.
Someone here saying, wow, Joyce, I love Fred's voice. It's very good for radio. His story is also very inspirational. So many young people are just waiting for manna to fall from heaven. And someone else here says, that voice already tells it all, that you belong to the media fraternity. For sure, a long journey starts with a single step. And I can tell, Fred, you're going far. That's Dan
Praise the Lord.
Mukurinu wa Kiandutu Thika. Someone here saying, wow, this man... Muitiriri wa Wangari.
Yep.
Aya, huyu anakujua na wapi?
Because I'm from Royal Media Services before I came here. That's why I was a reporter.
All right. And they're saying interesting testimony. Success is an inner process. He was at Inoro and now at Switch, growth in career, touched by his journey. That's Shiku Gatanga. Someone here is like, how can one jump from police to media? How could regret shifting ground like that? He's very dedicated to his dreams for sure. What did it take for such commitment? Well, he certainly already shared that story. This was a passion that he's had ever since he was a child. And I think there's an important lesson there.
True.
That sometimes, you know, when you're young, God puts a vision in your heart and he puts something in your mind. And the truly successful ones are the ones who are willing to stay focused on that goal. You will pay whatever cost you have, but you're still bringing it back. You're not easily distracted by many things. And so that's amazing. Carol from Juja also watching the show and telling you, welcome to Switch TV. Of course, last night was his first bulletin here, and you can catch him on Switch. Tell us about your show now. You're anchoring news here.
Yeah. So
How was the first day?
Wow, tension, just a bit.
Studio ni poa lakini.
Hey, man, we've got nice studios.
We've got nice studios.
Very, this is a first world studio.
Yeah.
I can tell you,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, very beautiful. Yeah.
And you're also now the news editor for Switch TV.
Yes, thank
So
God.
good. Well, we're excited to have you here.
Thank you so very much.
And more so even for your testimony too. As you've heard, he's a believer. And I think that's always great to see in the media. And so guys, you know, when you're looking at people in media, msianze kuwapigia mastori nyingi. You don't know where they've come from. Boss, jamaa alikuwa kiganjo. He was a cop. And I mean, I think a lot of us take those things for granted.
True.
And we always just focus on the outward appearance of what someone looks like, but you don't know what that process internally has been. And so we really celebrate you for that.
We thank God.
Maybe very quickly, for those who watch this show, there are many others who are aspiring to be journalists like yourself. Labda pia maisha imewapea mzunguko pia kidogo. What would you tell them today?
Wait.
Wait.
Let me just start with, I'll be doing news on Tuesday, Wednesday. I have Tipping Point on Thursday. So please watch us. Thank you. It will be great. Absolutely great. And then on Friday.
Yeah.
It's a new journey, new beginning, and we believe that the Lord will raise us up to make sure that our voice is heard.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, that you asked something, and I believe that every young person needs to understand that there's a time for you. The Lord has set it up. The Lord knows. He understands. He says in Jeremiah 1 that I knew you before you were even formed. I knew you. So he set you up in heaven, put you in your mama's womb, and he knows when you're supposed to take the next step. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Just don't give up.
Yeah.
I've lived in Mukuru myself when I was in college. The 5 years I was in college, I was hustling. My friend, I've gone from 0 to 100, from 100 to 0.
Right.
Even my house being closed and being told, go back to the village, you know, and telling myself, you know, I'll go back. I went back to the village from 2011 all the way almost to 2013, came back to Nairobi, stayed under my auntie's umbrella for almost 8 months.
Yeah.
Almost doing everything in the house and waiting upon the Lord
Wow.
until an internship came.
Wow.
So you've got to wait. And when it came, it was just an internship, not even a job. But I took it.
Amazing.
So the smallest of things that the Lord will bring your way, don't just let it go. Just take it.
Do it as unto the Lord.
Yes.
Absolutely. Wow, Fred. So excited to have
Thank
you here
you.
today. Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, guys, he's married and has a YouTube channel with his
Absolutely.
wife. How fantastic. Where you're actually counseling and guiding people on
Marriage. Yes.
That's fantastic. What's the YouTube channel called?
The Riri family.
The Riri family.
Oh, yes.
I love it.
Thank you very much. Me and my wife, we love marriage. And we believe that young people should just have a good marriage and enjoy their lives.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Fred, thank you so much. Great to have you
Asante.
here. Welcome once again
Asante.
to the Switch TV family. Please do remember to catch him on our news bulletins here on Switch TV as well as on Tipping Point. With that said, I need to take a break now as we get ready for our second hour of the show. We still have a lot lined up for you, including the response to COVID-19 and preparedness for organizations. And of course, Dennis will be back later to carry out his fitness journey. Stay tuned. I'll see you at the top of the hour.